Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you take your branding strategy and wrap it around your social media strategy.
Well, once you have your brand strategy, you know who your target audience is. And the definition of your target audience is never a demographic. That's a really broad, net you cast over your target audience. But more, it's a definition of their mindset and the way that they think. That plays into social media in a great way, because social media is about getting out there and participating. It's not this one-way communication. It's being real, it's being transparent. So lots of times, like Facebook, they'll recommend never put your company up. Always do your own individual profile, because people want to, online, they want to deal with individuals.
Right.
So,
well, wouldn't you agree that that's how it is in person as well? I mean, I don't do business with my bank. I do business with Susie, who happens to work at the bank.
Right.
Yes?
Yes. I mean, that's a perfect analogy. Because what ends up happening is that those kind of personal interactions that you have in real life have now been just given a platform where they can happen, where I can be talking with somebody in Paris, in New York, in LA, just as easy as I can down to the corner bank. And that's the other side of social media. There's the practical, I want to get the search engine rankings. The other side is you have access to people that can help you grow your business in amazing ways. So I was Twittering the other day, and all of a sudden somebody came online and they Twittered back at me. And I happen to be Twittering for an online company that I'm starting up right now, the Designer Jean Company. That gentleman is in charge of a new PR agency called the Campus Buzz. He's amassed 600 of the of editors that are focused on the college media market. That's the heart of my target audience. So for $30, I found out, because I was Twittering, that I can reach all of the most important editors from my audience.
Yay!
What's important about being online is that you find people that you would never have had an opportunity to see before and talk with.
Well, exactly. For instance, there are people there's a guy in Sweden that I communicate with on an maybe monthly basis, which I would have never met except for being online, because he's in Sweden. I'm probably never going to go to Sweden. Maybe, maybe not. But the point is that you can be trading ideas, information, resources, learning from other folks who may be one step ahead of you, and when you're one step ahead of others, you can do the same for them.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know that as small business owners, we can't do it all ourselves. So we have to amass this collection of people around us that help support our business. And you find people you never would have come across before, just because you're out, you're online, and you're participating in the right kind of groups, in the right kind of forums.
And let's talk about that a little bit. How do people determine what the right kind of forums are for them to be involved in? Daily, as you mentioned, there are thousands of new places to spend your time, either gainfully or wastefully. And I think folks are having a little bit of trouble trying to decide, where should I be spending my time? How do people figure that out?
Well, I think the answer to that is more, what can you do immediately to get your online real estate holdings up?
Yes.
And if there are things that you haven't done, like, do you have 3 or 4 online profiles? Because as soon as you put an online profile up, it's just like your website. It's full of information about you, your company, what you do, and all the keywords that you want to have in there. And it provides backlinks to your website, which is important for Google to look at. So if you have one website, that's great. But your website will never get optimized the way that a profile will, because a profile hangs like a Biznic or something like that. It hangs on a site with all these other profiles, where all this other content is changing all the time, and there are backlinks coming in and out. So Google looks at that and says, that's an important site. That's a high authority site. So lots of times people's Biznic profile will actually rank higher than their own website. So if you do that, do LinkedIn, do Plaxo, get yourself up on 3 or 4 profiles immediately.
That's a great tip. Do you have any branding strategies that you can offer up to the viewers? Just what's your favorite one quick branding strategy that people could put to use right away?
Well, they need to build their reputation. That's another thing that's intuitive. If people look at you as an expert, they're going to be more likely to buy from you. So if you write articles, if you host events, if you go to my Biznic profile, you'll see Steve is a highly rated published author. You'll also see he hosts events. You'll also see he speaks around town. You'll see all kinds of compliments. You get a whole picture of what this individual is like. And then I always tell people, I said, when I hand them my business card, I said, that's my contact information. But if you want to know about me, just type in Steve MacDonald Studio HDV into Google. 4 pages come up. Yelp ratings come up. Places that I've spoken, my articles, my profiles, my website, where people have blogged about me. And all of a sudden, that's third-party kind of endorsement, because Steve can't buy that. Google has said, no, these are the things that we think are important about these set of keywords. So,
and people who are watching this may think, well, that's easy for you to do because you've got all of that stuff now. But wouldn't you agree that it's one step at a time? You take a strategy, you put it in place. Once you've got that one done, you take another strategy and you put that in place, and it keeps building incrementally, yes?
You have to do it that way. If you actually look at it and you say, I want to have everything in place today, you'll get overwhelmed, you won't go anywhere. That's why pick something you can start with. Sometimes even blogging is an obstacle because people think, now I have to maintain that blog all the time, right?
Every day. Some people do that, yes.
Right. So pick the things that you know you do once and they're going to work on your behalf. After your online profiles, I think the most important thing is if you've been in business for a while, you have loyal followers. You have people that really believe in you. And most people put their testimonials up on their website. And testimonials are looked at not quite like an ad, but you look at them and you say, maybe that's exactly what they said, or was it really doctored up? So there are services online. Yelp is one of them. It's the largest online consumer review and rating site on the net. So it's a third party. So you can set up your business on Yelp and then invite your most favorite loyal customers to write a review about you. And you'll get 1 review up and then 2 and then 3, and before you know it, you'll have 10, 11, 12 different reviews of people raving about you. And then you put a link from your website or your profiles over there, and all of a sudden it's not you saying great things about you, it's others. It's that word of mouth endorsement. It's the most powerful influence on purchase.
Well, absolutely, because as we all know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And the trust factor is so important. And social media is probably one of the quickest ways to start building that trust.
Oh, in incredible ways.
Yeah. Well, Steve, is there anything else that you'd like to make sure that we share with the viewers today?
It can be really, really daunting because in today's day and age, your ability to market yourself has exploded into so many different options where it used to be simple. It was costly, but it used to be simple. I'll do a direct mail, I'll put a small newspaper ad out, I'll create a flyer, those kind of things. And now, should I blog? How many profiles should I create? How many articles should I write? How many forums should I be a part of? How many events should I schedule? I mean, it could go on and on and on. And really, the currency online today is content. And if you think about it, the trust factor that you're talking about, people are going to trust you when there's an exchange of value in the relationship. So marketing today is about exchanging value. That value comes from participating online. So when you blog about something that's important. When you're on Twitter and you tweet about something that's important. And stage it out like you had said earlier. Just take one thing at a time. And then it will build upon itself, and then you won't be doing everything at once. But you have to limit yourself. Because you could blog, you could tweet, you could write articles, you could post on other people's forums and blogs, and you could comment, you could spend all day long doing it.
And so never touch a customer.
And never touch a customer.
Yes.
Right. So you just have to say, that's an important part of what I do. That is the elbow grease.
Well, thank you so much for all of your insight and your helpful tips. I really appreciate having you with us today.
Well, thank you, Zita. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And I want to thank you for tuning in today to watch Biz Talk with Zita. We'll see you next time.